Hey, good morning, y'all. Jesus is Lord. Devil's defeated. Thank God the word works. And I have the faith of God, and you have the faith of God. Today we're going to talk about great faith. Be on this one for several days. What did Jesus call great faith? All right. So there in Luke chapter 7, there's a centurion. He's a great guy. Bible says, well, let me read some things for them. They went to Jesus and said, you ought to come do this because he's a great guy. He's built us a synagogue. He's a super guy. Jesus didn't do it for him because he was a great guy. He did it because he had great faith, and he didn't say he's a nice guy and he did great things. He said he had great faith. So I want to have great faith. So they beseeched Jesus to go with him. Now, verse 6, and Jesus went with them. Watch this. But when he was not far from the house, the centurion sent friends unto him, saying, Lord, trouble not thyself, for I am not worthy that thou shouldest enter in under my roof, neither thought myself to be worthy enough to come unto thee, but say in a word, and my servant shall be healed. Watch that. He's a good guy. He's done great things for the Israelis there. Jesus wasn't moved by that. He had a humble spirit, didn't think that he was worthy, but that didn't get the boy healed either. But watch what he did do. This is big. This is great faith. He said, I didn't think myself worthy, but watch, say in a word, and my servant shall be healed. Now he understands the power of words. He's going to explain that to us. For I am also a man set under authority, having one soldier, I say, go, and he goes. To another comes, and he comes. Do this, and he does it. So he understood the thing about authority and the power of words and speaking the word and it coming to pass. When Jesus heard these things, he marveled. I want my faith to cause Jesus to marvel and not because, dear God, that's a hopeless situation down there. He marveled. Watch. Now Jesus marveled and said this. He marveled at him and turned about and said, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. So what did Jesus call great faith? Watch. Very simple. Read it to you so that you get it, because it's so simple that you might miss it. For I also am a man set under authority, having under one soldier, and I say. He understood that a person under authority says, and it's done. I used to be a Star Trek fan. I still kind of like it. And old Captain Picard, after they would decide what they was going to do, he would say, make it so. And that's what they would do. They understood that once they made a decision and they said, make it so. Well, that's really what the word amen means. When you finish with your prayer, you finish with your fasting, praying, whatever you're doing, then you figure out which way you're going to go. You ought to say, make it so. Amen. Let it be done. That's what that means. So this man understood that, and he understood the power of Jesus' words. Now watch. I want you to see this. And Jesus heard these things, what? That he understood authority, that he understood the power of saying. He understood that Jesus was the Son of God, and whatever he said would come to pass. When Jesus heard these things, he marveled at him and said, I have not found so great faith. Great faith is simply believing the word, believing what God said is going to come to pass, believing that you say what the word says and it's going to come to pass, and God calls that great faith. Not little faith, not no faith, but great faith. What's great faith, Pastor Frank? Well, we studied yesterday and the day before what strong faith is. Great faith is simply believing what God said will come to pass, meditating on it and getting it into your heart, step number 2. And step number 3, after you've done that, you get it working that in your heart, and then you boldly say it with your mouth, and you believe that what you say is going to come to pass because Jesus said it, and Jesus is going to marvel at you and say, whoo, that's great faith. I want some of that kind of faith, great faith. And Jesus said that's great faith. Now watch. And they that were sent, returning to the house, found the servant whole, I like that, whole that had been sick. When that man believed God, he didn't have to talk to Jesus. He didn't have to sit down with Jesus and say, Lord, let me tell you about my troubles. He just simply believed that if Jesus said it, it would come to pass. Jesus called it great faith. And when those that went to talk to Jesus heard that and came back, they found that servant whole, really, from the very moment that he said that. So what's great faith? Great faith, quite simply, is to believe what Jesus said, believe the word, be like Abraham, fully persuaded that what God had said, he, God, is able to perform, not be moved by the circumstances, believe it and say it, and be settled in it, not worry about it, not complain about it, but give God praise because it's going to come to pass. When you make a request known unto God with thanksgiving, because it's a done deal. Hey, I got to get out of here. We'll come back to great faith tomorrow, because there's one other place it talks about great is thy faith. And I want to have some of that great faith. Then we'll talk about mountain moving faith. We're blessed. You're blessed. God's on your side. You always win. And so until I'm with you tomorrow, saints, remember, hey, Jesus is Lord. Thank God the word works.